babysitter Jimmie Johnson. 2 races
cars
in
in.
the chase
Got
for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Can he rebound from a disappointment in Texas a week ago?
Ready?
Great crowd on hand as Jimmie will lead him
Green
down
flag.
to the green flag.
Still there. Outside. Still there. Still there. Outside.
Jamie McMurray desperately wants to lead this lap and primarily keep Jimmie Johnson from leading a lap because his teammate
Still there.
Leopards and he doesn't want to give
Outside.
away those 5 bonus points.
Yeah, this is
All clear there if you need it.
right here. This 26 car is very motivated to try to keep the 48 car from leading.
All clear.
He's going to be able to
One
do that
back.
right here on this first lap. And that high line can get a good run off of turn 2 as we saw Jamie McMurray did. He did off of turn 4 and led lap 1.
So mission accomplished for lap 1 for Roush Fenway. McMurray leads it.
Jimmie Johnson's not giving up. He's going to try to get these 5 points just as soon as he can.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking on the outside of the 44.
Car length
Sneaks
back.
on the inside. Carl Edwards started back in 15th position in the garage area this morning. The crew was talking about they thought Carl would have a good enough car to be making a move early to get out of the middle of the pack. There comes the 99 car.
He's making a nice run on the inside of Casey Mears right here. Paul Menard right ahead of him. That's A.J. Allmendinger in the 10 car this weekend. Paul's got himself almost in a 3-wide situation. Not exactly what he wants.
Crew Chief Bob Osborne told me in the garage area that we found something in happy hour with the 99 car that should make us really good here. But it's going to take a few laps for this car to come in. Right now, Carl's struggling on the inside of the 15. Mike.
Doc, remember back in the spring, Bob Osborne was not
Clear by
here in
2.
Phoenix.
Nice and smooth. You'll get him.
He was serving. I asked him how much more challenging it is to come to a track where he was not in the spring. He said he doesn't have top-of-mind awareness. He has to spend extra time looking at data, looking at notes. The results have...
Go ahead and put your brake pants on.
Look at his record of the tracks where he had been suspended coming back. He has a victory in Bristol, Atlanta, and Texas the second time. Not too bad for missing the first opportunity, I wouldn't say.
Not at all, Mike. And back up front, the guys who are chasing McMurray has led the first 4 laps. Jimmie Johnson stable back there, about 3 car lengths back. Here comes the 88 car. Now, he's been pretty pumped all weekend, Dale Earnhardt Jr., about what could happen here.
27.96.
Yeah, he pumped up right there off turn 2. Man, that car got loose. He's still going.
Yeah, he had all the gas there.
He's got a reason to be pumped up. He ran great here at the first race, and this has been his kind of racetrack, and he needs a win, and he feels like this will be a good shot.
Yeah, he needs to
Clear by 3.
No championship hopes alive now. All they've got to do is go out here and try to win this race. Here comes Denny Hamlin on the inside of David Rudiman. Denny had a really good car in practice. He was actually fastest in the happy hour.
28.11.
David Rudiman with a great qualifying effort. Still hanging around up there in the 7th spot.
There goes Gordon making a move on Ryan Newman.
Rudiman will try to follow Gordon underneath. Newman slips a bit, and Rudiman will try to take that spot away. That's 6th position.
You can see Hamlin right there. He really, I think, wanted to think about going to the inside of the 44, but decided against it. Backed off and gave David a little bit of room. Corner. Rudiman not able to make that pass on Ryan Newman.
Back behind that group, you see the 8 car starting to slip in there. That is Mark Martin right there. His final race in 2008 and final race for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. A couple of Gillette Evernham cars running side by side. Casey Kane and A.J. Allmendinger in the 9 and 10.
And Casey Kane had a great happy hour practice. He was second.
28.31.
Pretty fast right here, working the outside, 3 wide.
3 wide in turn 2. Somebody's going to have to give a little bit right here. Reed Sorensen lets Casey Kane have that spot. A.J. actually backed out a little bit too. A lot of racing here to go. Only on lap 8, 312.
Carl Edwards saying they're 3 wide in front of me. I got to tiptoe for a while here.
And that's the thing about qualifying back there. Very tight racing conditions here. A lot of fun to drive this racetrack.
37.
So Carl's going to just have to be extremely patient at this point in time. See A.J. Allmendinger making the pass on Reed Sorensen.
Reed Sorensen moving over to that 10 car for 2009.
Still clear by 3.
For the car he'll drive next year.
Yeah, it's probably nice to see. Hey, I'm going to be in that car. That thing's pretty fast. Look forward to that.
Jimmie McMurray coming off his best finish of the
28-48. Good job, bud. You're doing great.
Two guys that beat him did it on fuel mileage. And now his best qualifying effort of the year on the outside front row. He has now led the first 10 laps thus far. 10 laps in, McMurray the leader, Jimmie Johnson, Kurt Busch, and Earnhardt Jr.
Okay, get ready.
Cars that took only
Green
two
flag.
tires, the 2 car, the 12, the 41, and the 8. The front 4 cars, only right side tires. Jimmie Johnson took 4.
Jimmie McMurray had a bad pit stop there, got 4 tires, but he only lost 6 spots.
Still there.
4 of those were for those 2-tire
Clear,
wheels, so
clear.
He dodged really kind of a bullet. He's still up there pretty good.
Inside line, Jimmie Johnson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. going by Mark Martin. There comes McMurray following him through.
Yeah, we saw 2 tires.
Clear by 1 there.
Good yesterday in the nationwide race. A little bit surprised. I guess these guys want to test that early here.
Well, this is a little different car than that Nationwide Series car, and it will act a little different. 2 tires will, and plus we've got a little shade on the racetrack today with all this cloud cover.
Still there.
Jimmie
Outside.
Johnson taking 3rd spot.
Still there's your quarter. You're clear. Clear.
Now we'll set his sights on the front 2.
I think Jimmie sees this as his opportunity to get up there and lead a lap and get those 5 bonus points right now.
He knows how good a car
Clear by
McMurray
3.
has and knows how good that 88 is going to be. It's coming up behind him.
I don't think he has to worry about the 88 car keeping him from leading a lap. I think they'll work together. What he needs to worry about is 26 if he gets there first.
Go get him.
And Jimmie's got a little bit of a cushion on him. He's going to have to get there. Kurt Busch out front. His teammate Ryan Newman right behind him. Good run for these guys.
Where is Carl Edwards, the 99 car, back in 17th position.
He's found him back in that hornet's nest once again. You see his teammate right behind him, Matt Kenseth, right there with him.
Kevin Harvick, he's had a good car this week.
807. 28-15 on the leader.
For the 17. Oh, Casey Mears out of control off the corner.
Man, that's a tough corner. You just flirt with that wall every time you come off of there. Only way that you're not about to touch is if you're on the inside of another car and then you've got him up into it.
16 car.
Clear by 8.
Biffle has started back in 31st position and actually dropped back as far as 39th in the early laps.
And here comes here comes Jimmie McMurray now.
824. 28-50 on the leader.
He's made the pass on Junior now, and he's got his sights set on that 48.
There comes the 88 car.
Still there.
Johnson there on the inside of
Still there.
Ryan Newman.
Outside.
Trying to take that second spot.
Outside.
Set his sights on the lead.
Clear.
Kurt Busch.
I mentioned the 1 car, Martin Truex Jr. We saw the overheating issue. He has gone to pit road, and they're going to push him back up pit road.
Brake
He is
bands
done
on.
for the day, apparently, with the problems with the engine. We'll update you specifically here momentarily. Greg Biffle has now moved up 17 positions. He started back in 31st spot, dropped back to 39th. Whoa.
Got 1 in the wall. 3. No caution yet. No caution. Caution's out, Jimmie. Caution's out. He rode the wall from turn 3 all the way to 4. Still up in there.
I'm not so sure that wasn't
They're
bad
looking
news
good.
for Jimmie to try to lead a lap. He was
Four.
catching that 2 car.
It looks like turn 3 is going to be our trouble spot here today.
A lot of brake parts down there.
That's a hard lick.
Show you what happened here on Brian Vickers. Top of your screen.
Helped the front grip a lot through 1 and 2. I still think we'll probably fight the tight center.
Kurt Busch leads here at Phoenix International Raceway. Jimmie Johnson in second. McMurray is 3rd. But a moment ago, our 6th place car had troubles. Kurt Busch's teammate Ryan Newman in the 12 car. There's the 12 who just came on the pit road a moment ago. And here's the issue he had over in turn 2.
2908. Good job, bud.
Down, and don't know if it was a melted bead. We've seen that a little bit this weekend where the brakes overheat the tire or the wheel and melt that bead in the right front. See him trying to get down here to pit road. He almost gets a hold of Kevin.
Clear by 4 there.
Kevin lucky not to get clipped. One thing that makes it tough with these cars is, and this track, they don't run liners. in the tire. So if you have a tire go down, it goes all the way to the wheel.
921. You're getting up. You're getting up.
Within a tire that inflates, so if you lose it on speedways, you don't go all the way down. But here, that is, as you said, not the case.
One reason you see him struggling right now is he's got the sway bar link is probably ground off the car. Whenever he had that right front tire down, it ground the link off the sway bar, and you can see how much it's rolling over, just like what we saw with Kyle Busch at New Hampshire when his sway bar link actually failed. See, that's just leaned over like it wants to turn over. Jamie?
Andy,
917. Fastest car on the track, dude.
What you said about the sway bar is exactly what led to this tire going down.
Newman being shown a lap down now, back in 41st position. Cars going by him as he is a sitting duck out there with the.
Clear by 5
What's
there.
happened right here is when that tire went down, there's a sway bar and the link is underneath the lower control arm. That actually goes down on the racetrack and grinds off, and that's why he's got this problem now. He's going to have to come in and get that fixed. I had to put a sway bar arm on it because it's grounded in two.
I'll tell you what, guys, one thing you got to remember about this particular track, this is a short track tire these guys are running here. This is the same tire that run at Richmond, Virginia, Loudon, New Hampshire. Run pretty low air pressure, about 30 pounds on the right front tire. And this straightaways here are awful long here at Phoenix, so it's pretty abusive. And Tim Brewer down there can pretty well tell us about the camber problems. A lot of camber you need to run here and low air pressures.
2932.
Hey, Rusty, you're right. They're all contributing factors. Folks, you don't have an interliner like Andy was talking about, but still yet the car wants to transfer so much weight. You've got a lot of brake heat built up in the rotor that's going into the tire. You're also, if you're not utilizing the full opening of the brake duct, you're not cooling properly. But what Andy Petrie said a while ago, this is a Heim joint. It actually hooks to the sway bar arm, and once the tire goes down, it actually grinds this away. But when it gets down to the Heim joint, if it grinds it that far down, that's when they're going to have a big problem hooking the thing back up.
Thanks, Tim. Back up front. Here's the 48 car moving in to try to take the lead. And for the first time today, Jimmie Johnson has closed in on Kurt Busch.
Yeah, I think those 4 tires are finally taking over here. Jimmie Johnson's car, you could see him about the last 6 or 7 laps beating Kurt Busch by about a tenth to a tenth and a half a lap. He's going to make that pass here shortly and get those 5 bonus points.
I'm actually surprised that Kurt Busch was able to stay out in front as long as he did.
Yeah, it's a really nice job. He has obviously a very good handling race car. Jimmie's not able to make the pass yet. He's got there, but not able to get up beside him.
And they're catching the tail of the field now, so they're going to be in some traffic. Jimmie needs to go ahead and take advantage of this right now. It looks like he's got him.
Yeah, it looks like where he's really beating him through that center of turn 3 and off of turn 4. He wasn't able to lead that lap.
Jimmie's got to go as well because McMurray is moving in behind him in a hurry.
Still there.
26
Outside.
See,
Outside at the quarter. Still there. Coming back. Still there.
Jimmie's able
Outside.
to roll his car around now. He's got
Clear, clear.
Dave?
And you could sense that was coming, not just the 4 tires versus 2, but
Half a car back. Good job. 5 points.
And just been told right now, 5 points. He passed 3 cars. Chad told him looking good, and all Jimmie said was 10-4. He believed in the car too.
These guys came here with a mission this week.
Good job, man. You're doing great. We're going to be pitching about 20.
They knew that kind of things right now. You get down to 2 races to go, you have things in your own hand. You can do and make things happen that you want to happen now. You don't have to worry about what happens to other people.
Okay, here's the tire that just came off of Ryan Newman's car.
Good job.
You can tell if it's melted that or
Center, 3 off.
Jamie?
Andy, I just spoke to Goodyear. They are down here looking at the tire. They said the bead was fine. It did not melt.
Great job, bud. Great job. Nice and smooth. Get that rhythm.
The line that you see on the pit box, they got a pass-through penalty. They also have to come in and bring it behind the wall to fix that sway bar issue that you guys were discussing.
Watch these 2 ahead of you. They've been racing hard for quite a while here.
Brian Vickers, that rotor, when it came apart, can leave little pieces out there, and that may be what happened to this tire on this car as he caught a piece of that debris.
Yeah, Ryan Newman had to make a pass-through penalty here, and you can see why, because these guys are still on the right side of the car. That's what the penalty's for, so he had to make that pass-through that we were showing you just a minute ago.
Jimmie Johnson now in heavy traffic. That's the 84 car, and here's a battle.
Clear by 5 there.
McMurray trying to move on the inside of Kurt Busch.
Yeah, Kurt's losing some forward bite, especially off of turn 4. Last few laps
Still there.
really kicked
Outside.
out there.
Clear, clear.
And Jamie McMurray really taking advantage of that situation right now. Kurt will be fine. He's got a good race car, so they'll all get 4 tires here in the near future. He can just hang around there. And
Jimmie Johnson, our leader now, has led the last 5 laps.
Still there. Outside. Outside. Clear. Outside. Still there.
Moving
Still
in
there.
on scheduled pit stop, so we
Outside
have
barely.
had a red flag, but no one was
Still
able
at
to
the quarter.
add fuel during that 23 and
Still
a half
there.
minute red flag, so they have not been on
Clear,
pit
clear.
road. The majority of the cars, I should say, for tires and fuel since about lap 22.
Still there. Still there.
One
Clear,
car
clear.
that came back in and took on 4 tires and fuel is the 16 car. He was back as far as 39th.
Still there.
Back to
Outside.
33rd early on because he had to
Outside.
start at the
Clear.
back of the pack
Nice
because
job.
of a transmission change. And Greg Biffle moving up, guys.
yeah, Greg's car looks really good. We heard him talk during the rain delay that they hadn't got his car where he wanted to. They were adjusting on it, but it looks like he's pretty good right now. He's passed a lot of race cars.
Clear by 4 there.
Mathematically, we mentioned at the top of the show that Greg Biffle had a chance to come out of here with the points lead, although he began the day with a 143-point deficit to Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, we've been talking everything about Jimmie Johnson and Carl Edwards, and we didn't mean to leave Greg out of it, but he obviously is a little further behind, makes it a little more difficult, but he still has a really good chance.
Johnny Sauter on the move, and here is a driver. DJ, you know what he's thinking right now. He said, I don't get many opportunities to show my stuff, and I got to get up there and try to get someone to notice me for rides for down the road.
Yeah, just trying to make a good run here. He's had a good run so far today. He's moved up into the 20th spot. You see him get a little bit loose right there in the middle of 3 and 4.
Jimmie Johnson moving in on another chase kit to the 17 car. Matt Kenseth is on the inside of Bill Elliott. Those guys are 31st and 32nd.
Still there. Outside.
Matt had that flat
Still
tire
there.
under the red flag, had to come back
Still
in.
there.
That put him at
Clear.
the tail end of the line. Obviously struggling to see Dale Jr. trying to take the 3rd spot away from Kurt Busch.
Clear by 2. Good job.
I think those 2 tires are really showing up on Kurt Busch's car right now.
What we're seeing too, lap times have slowed down a couple of seconds from when they had new tires on. You might see some guys try to get down pit road and pit short if they feel like it's going to go green.
Earnhardt Jr., who led 87 laps here back in April.
Still there.
Same car he led
Outside.
a ton of laps with at Richmond.
Outside.
Tony Eury Jr.
Still at
telling
the
me they
quarter.
thought this car would be
Outside.
really good.
Outside
the
there.
second half of the race on, where they were here in
Outside.
the spring, which is pretty unusual
Still
for this
there.
team. They've been good early on in racing.
Still there.
Mike?
I also had a conversation with Tony Eury
Still
Jr.
there.
And as you mentioned, he led a bunch
Clear,
of laps
clear.
here back in the spring, but he said he didn't feel like he had the best car. He felt like Mark Martin had the best car. They were better on drive off the corner, so that's exactly what they concentrated on during the course of practice. They feel like they are equal to what the 8 was here back in the spring, much better than they were then.
Clear by 1. Good job.
Tony Jr. saying if we just would have had that forward bite that Mike was talking about, we probably could have been the car to beat, or would have been the car to beat here. But they, he said, a couple minor adjustments is all it takes, and suddenly that forward bite shows up, and you got a car that everybody has a tough time handling.
That's it. It's all about details, and you don't beat these guys by a lot. You beat them by a little. You try to find those little advantages.
Yeah, Junior's
Still
really
there.
coming right now.
Outside.
He has
At
Jimmie
the
moving
quarter.
just up in front
Still
of
there.
him.
Coming back.
He's
Still
in
there.
2nd place right now.
Still there. Outside.
It looks like they've got their
Outside.
forward bite worked out and
Still there.
You got cars starting to make pit stops.
Still
Denny
there.
Hamlin on the pit road.
Clear.
Got to get it woed down here, 45 miles an hour, 38 David Gilliland in as well. They have been green since lap 48. Remember, a very curved pit road, headed down toward the curve. Hamlin making his stop. Mike.
And he's been saying he's a little bit tight center. They're going to make a track bar adjustment, take on 4 tires and a load of Sunoco race fuel. They'll also work on wedge as they swing down around to the left side of the car. Pretty smooth stop so far. Just beyond 14 seconds, they're off the Jacqueline wedge.
8 car, Mark Martin coming in for his scheduled pit stop.
Watch for hand signals. So you guys start to pit. Go ahead.
And Mark Martin real happy with his race car to this point, feeling like it's every bit as good as it was here in the spring. Just needs to get a little bit of clean air. That's what he wants. Team going to work on the right side. They make a slight air pressure adjustment. No chassis changes. Pretty clean stop.
Bring her out here, pit this time. Pit this time. Both batteries on.
Back in the spring, looking for a
15's on pit road, yeah.
For the 8 car.
Be gone by the time we get here.
Saying his 24 car still
4,500 this time. No pressure behind you.
on throttle. They're going to try to help him out. This is also what they worked on in the last pit stop. 4 tires for the 2014. Mike.
Jamie McMurray had one word to describe this race car: loose. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, also a chassis adjustment, 4 tires and fuel on the 26.
Leader Jimmie Johnson is on pit road. He will come all the way around the
Hey, add your bar
car so far
now.
for Jimmie on this run, tight in the center, loose off the corner, but obviously very, very fast. That will mean a slight chassis adjustment. That'll be wedge in this car, and air pressure as well for Jimmie. 4 tire stop, Sunoco fuel in the lows, 48 as well. Remember, Jimmie first led on lap 180.
Ready? Go, 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 go. Clear, all clear. Buddy, you're all clear, all clear, all clear, all clear. Go, go, go.
Jeff Burton says the car is loose in turn.
Get all you can right there. You got the 09 coming off the corner. You're all clear, all clear.
Jeff Burton is down and away.
Jamie. And Kurt Busch in his pit box.
Still a lot of pit in front of you. Watch they don't check up on you.
All 4 tires and fuel for the 2 car who led early in this race. Guys.
No pressure.
And Carl Edwards had been a little bit loose. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, try to correct it that way. Still on pit road. Remember, they've got a substitute front tire changer. That's great. Dolan making the move there. A very smooth pit stop for the 99. They're away.
You got to hand it to that sub tire changer. He did a great job right there.
Sure did. Nice work. Hey, you throw these guys in there with other guys that do a really good job. They think they know they got to step it up, and he was able to do that. Mark Martin's being black flagged.
Report is
Still there.
a lug nut issue
Clear.
on the 8 car. Here's the leader, Greg Biffle. Now remember,
41
he was
coming out of the
8
pit there,
cars that
watch
came back on pit road and pitted on that second caution flag.
Clear.
Stayed on the racetrack.
He's got about 10 laps that he can run farther, but if I was him, I believe I'd get down pit road now because he's going to lose a lot of time.
Still there. Clear, clear.
44, Rudeman back in. Shannon.
David Rudeman right now saying that the car is tight. They made a wedge adjustment to free it up on the last pit stop. You see that wrench in the back window. Looks like they're doing the same here too. 4 tires for David Rudeman and Sunoco fuel.
Mark Martin coming back down to tighten the lug, put a lug nut on, and NASCAR officials calling him back in. This cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, this is disappointing. You never want to make these kind of mistakes.
Well, Greg Biffle has done something today that his teammate Carl Edwards has yet to do, and that's lead a lap.
Still there. Outside.
29 car, Kevin
Outside.
Harvick behind him.
Clear, clear.
Came back down pit road to get a lug nut put back on, and the rule is they just have to be on. They don't have to be tight. But that crew member just stuck the lug nut on by hand. That didn't make a lot of sense. I believe if I was going to come down pit road, I'd put it on tight.
Kind of defeating the purpose, wasn't it?
Travis Quapple, the second place car, coming down pit road for his pit stop.
Still there. Outside. Outside. Still there. Still there.
Biffle is still running some pretty good lap times here, so
Still there.
looks like he may stay out
Barely there.
there.
Clear, clear.
Try to take advantage of any situation that he possibly can right now.
He's getting passed right here by some cars that have new tires. These cars are getting back on the lead
Clear by
lap.
4. Good job.
Yeah, that's not for the lead. The 99 car going by Edwards and the 18 of Busch. As you see Travis Quapple coming down after his 4 tires change.
Work, dude. Nice work. We are in the lead lap. You'll be leading this thing in just a little bit.
Right now, there's
Make
only
sure your
20
fans
cars
are
in
on.
the lead
Make
lap
sure
because
both
Biffle is
batteries.
staying
Make
out.
sure only one battery is on.
Talking about his lap times are pretty good, but in comparison to Jimmie Johnson, he's about a second off. So as you mentioned, he's losing a lot of time right here.
Well, he's just taking a chance. If he gets a caution, you see he's got his hand out the window. He's coming this time. You take a chance. If the caution comes out, it's a great break for you. But if it doesn't, you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, once all these other guys start getting back on the lead lap, there's no reason to stay out there. You're just putting yourself further behind.
Still there.
The laps he had to lead to
Outside.
be able to get the bonus points. Now he will come
Clear.
down and get 4 fresh Goodyears. A little bit of Sunoco fuel. And so he can make it for 90 more laps. Jamie.
sure starting 43rd they'd make it to the front to get those 5 bonus points, but they did for a little bit of strategy there. He said he's tight in the center, a little loose in the corners. They're going to make a wedge adjustment, just a half round, 4 tires for the 16 of Greg Biffle. Remember, he's still in the championship hunt, Todd.
Careful with the 12 there.
Like to be able to get this thing closer to Greg Wood and keep it close till he gets to Homestead, where he has been almost unbeatable in recent years, a 3-time winner at Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's show you the pit stop up close with our crew cam. The front tire changer, Mike Ellershaw, for the 47 of Marcus Ambrose. Now watch this brake dust come off.
I've lived this right here. You see,
But you are the leader again.
that's a chrome wheel, and yeah, there's the new one. All that is brake dust on that wheel. See right here, it looks like it's painted black, but that's actually all brake dust.
17, Kenseth back on pit road for his stop. Remember, he had the unscheduled stop after the red flag for the left front tire that was flat. Andy, what you were talking about, they're trying to make repairs here on Ryan Newman's sway bar that he ground off with that tire that went down, so he can get him back on the racetrack.
Yeah, he was just losing too much time. He couldn't hardly drive the car, so they're going to fix it.
Green flag. Still there. Inside. Inside. Clear, clear. All clear.
When he's not going down the front stretch where he
Well,
can't
that's
see.
it. Okay. He might be able to see now.
Yeah.
Still there.
see him while ago.
Outside. Clear, clear. Nice.
Johnson just goes right by.
He fixed that little situation.
Yeah, and
Right
it was
quick.
actually a situation that if McMurray had led the rest of the laps right there, he and Jimmie would have been tied with 122 laps led, but Jimmie's going to take care of that little situation here. So Jamie McMurray can't be the one that's going to keep him from leading the most laps. Really, only Kurt Busch is the only other driver now that could make that happen. He would
Beautiful, buddy. Great job.
a lot. Otherwise, Jimmie's going to wrap that up today.
Carl Edwards back in 7th spot and mired in heavy traffic, trying to make his way up. There's a 99 car, Dave Blaney, the 22. There's the
Clear by 2. Nice. Great. Good.
Carl has to clear about 3 lap cars before he can ever get up to the next spot, which is the 11 car Denny Hamlin.
2782.
While we watch Carl make his way up a position, let's check in the Jeff Gordon pits with Steve Letarte. Shannon.
Well, Steve Letarte, they have been able to bring that car down pit road. I know you've looked under the hood. Have you guys been able to diagnose what the problem is?
No, I think it's summed up in the valve train. You know, he felt it lose power earlier in the day, so
A little tighter than the other
the
one.
valve and it finally broke. But I can't say no. You know, Hendrick engines have given us great engines all year long. They've given us better engines than we've had cars here some. So, you know, it's not what we wanted to finish the year.
2798.
But Chevrolet was
10
good
car,
off the
little
truck.
tighter.
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of our year.
I know that you and Chad Knaus, 48 crew chief, definitely talked during the race. Has he spoken to you? Has there been any concern from that camp?
No, not really. We just want to make sure when Jimmie comes up the lap that we stay out of our way. But I guess we had to break an engine. Ours is better than 48's.
All right, Steve Letarte right now just still trying to figure out exactly what is wrong with that 24.
Jeff Gordon being shown right now back in 29th position, 1 lap down. He was
28-10 behind you. Good
when
job.
the problem erupted with the engine.
See Jimmie Johnson back out front here. He didn't waste much time in making that and getting it back to the front.
Now watch this restart here where he tries to get around the 26 car of McMurray.
Yeah, you can see he follows him into the corner, goes up high. But then he gets a great run and just turns his car right to the bottom of the racetrack. And that's smart driving along with a good race car.
Watch Chad Knaus watching this. They got to bring him. Come on, Chad. You can smile.
Goes, yeah, there's my driver.
Yeah,
that's right.
Uh-huh.
He's saying thank you.
Yeah. We won't wait on that tape next time, but we appreciate you doing that.
Tony Stewart in the 20 car and the 16 at Greg Biffle waging battle back here for 9th position.
Yeah, they've been going at it pretty hot and heavy here. Biffle making a move there. It's a really impressive run for Greg Biffle. Tony Stewart's had a good day too. He's come from pretty far back here and able to work his way into the top 10. See, he's right on the bottom trying to battle Biffle, who's trying to run that higher line.
26.
48 guys put some
30
tape on the
behind
grill.
you.
They also have a piece of paper on the grill, so they've got a significantly smaller opening than they had earlier. I'll probably be watching the water temperature.
It's not like he's going to catch anybody to get it off of there either, is it?
No.
I mean, it's going to take
Not
him
for
a while to get
but,
around.
He's definitely restricted that opening quite a bit. Dave?
Okay, so, sorry, here are the numbers. He asked Jimmie what his water temperature was. He said between 200 and 205. That's how they knew they could add the
31.
Now they lowered the track bar to make it just a little bit tighter, but they put the tape on to get a little bit more downforce on that front nose. So with the water reported at 200 during the run, Andy, would you be comfortable with that paper on there now?
Yeah, if it was just 200, that shouldn't be a big deal. But what I start worrying about is temperatures above 250 degrees. And if I was Chad, I'd be asking him now. We see it's kind of moving around on the grill. I'd be asking Jimmie what it is now. If they can keep it under 250, see Jimmie get a little bit loose right there.
41.
If they keep it under 250, it should be fine.
That little bit of paper could be contributing to that little bit of looseness right here, too, making a little bit more downforce on the nose.
That along with the tape they added.
Yes. Yeah, and this could be a situation we could see. Just we'll have to see if indeed it does impact the temperature on that car. But the one thing that they do have right now with Jeff Gordon off the pace, if they're needing to get to a car before they come up to the lap cars, then they do have that option of getting Jeff back there to where he could, Jimmie could get up behind him and try to help get that paper off of there.
Here's Clint Boyer, the 07 car. Now he is being shown a lap down in the 19th position. 29, though, is not. He is right behind the 99 in 8th spot, Kevin Harvick. Shannon?
Well, I told you earlier, Kevin Harvick battling loose conditions. The car is pretty hooked up right now. They did make a track bar adjustment on that last pit stop just because Kevin Harvick was saying they were a little sideways off the corners. But right now, as you see Kevin Harvick right around his teammate Clint Boyer in that 07, the car is pretty good in that 29.
Harvick having trouble keeping the nose of his car pinned underneath his teammate, Clint Boyer. Jimmie Johnson,
67 behind you.
What no driver
Nice
has
job,
ever
bud.
done
Great
at
move.
Phoenix International Raceway.
.76 laps to go.
4.
In
75 behind
Sprint
you.
Cup Series race at Phoenix International Raceway, Jimmie Johnson is out in front. He has just clinched the bonus points for leading the most laps in this race. Johnson's gap stands now at 155 over Carl Edwards, 162 or better at the end of the day today. Johnson only needs to start the race in Homestead, Miami next weekend, and he'll be a three-time champion. Now let's talk about strategy. At that 75 to go mark we are now. We're inside a fuel window, Ray, for Carl Edwards teams. If we get a caution shortly, what kind of possibilities does that open up for them?
Well, certainly if we get a caution right now inside this window, everybody's coming. They're going to fill them up and they're going to try and go to the end. The big question is going to be, I think there's going to be another caution late around 280, 300. Will they come for tires?
And your thinking is based on just the pattern that this race has shown over the years.
Over the last 7 or 8 years, this race has shown a pattern, and right now the pattern says there's a 50% chance there's going to be a caution around lap 250 and an 80% chance there's going to be a caution around lap 280 to 300.
Now, looking at Jimmie Johnson's team, and one of the things when I asked you about that pattern is I'm thinking, okay, it hasn't been a full fuel run, so maybe Edwards' team tries for the 2 tires to see if they can get some track position and so on. If you're Jimmie Johnson's team, you're not doing anything but putting 4 tires on this car every chance you get lately, right?
Yeah, you've got to put 4 tires on that thing right now, not take any chances whatsoever. In fact, he's probably being a little bit nervous right now with that tape or that debris that's on the grill right now, guys. I'm a little concerned about that.
57, good job. That was my lap.
Now he's got debris on it also. I'm sure he's monitoring his water temperature, but Ray, if he gets any more debris on the front of this thing, this could be a problem for this team.
Well, I know they've got high pressure systems on them, like Tim Brewer showed us, but, 250 degrees, that's pretty hot. It starts to wear out a lot of parts and pieces, and if, too high a temperature can still cause a valve train problem.
So while Jimmie's out in front with a 2.5 lead, there's still a lot of action going on all over the racetrack, Doc.
All over the racetrack. Dinger in the 10 car, right side of your screen, the 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya. Those guys are battling back and forth for 13th position. Both these guys coming out of the open wheel ranks, very aggressive here in stock cars. Whoa, Montoya has his hands full.
And you can see Allmendinger gave him another lane or two to catch that car.
Yeah, the last lap by off of turn 4, going through 3 and 4, they split Michael Waltrip. Montoya to the bottom, Allmendinger to the top. So they're having a real battle.
And they're catching Jeff Burton just ahead of them for another spot.
Behind this group is the 6th car of David Reagan, who continues to log top 10 finishes. Shannon?
Well, one driver who's been so impressive this season is, of course, David Reagan. He started this race 30th today, guys. He has slowly moved his way up through the field. Now, I spoke with David Reagan, and he said that coming into this race, you know, this always has been a great track for him. He hasn't been able to crack the top 10,
laps to go.
But over the past couple weeks, he has had such great runs. He has even impressed some of the most veteran drivers. Tony Stewart just this week said if he had to vote for a driver of the year, his vote would go to David Reagan.
Shannon, a lot of people in the garage area were talking about how in only his 2nd year in racing, this kid almost made the chase. Talking about David Reagan as he's watching the battle in front of him between these two guys.
5 cars are the same speed there.
Sounds like Tony Stewart's had a major turnaround on David Reagan. Isn't he the one he called a dart without feathers?
Yeah, and he also doesn't throw out a lot of compliments to other drivers, so that's a pretty high praise.
Little discussion going on.
Clear by 8.
What's he telling him, Andy?
Well, they got to make one more pit stop. They just don't want to make any mistakes. He's just telling them how to execute this thing and what the plan is. And I'm sure there's some scenarios. If the caution comes out now, if the caution comes out,
29.06.
you want to get all this stuff down so there's no miscommunication.
Kurt Busch has been running down the 26 car. He has caught McMurray now. The question is, can he pass him?
It's been a good day all the way around for Kurt Busch. He's led a lot of laps in this race. Pretty much been in the top 5 the entire day, now trying to take that 2nd spot away.
Got a pretty good flat track program.
29.02, 49.12 behind you. Good job.
In the big first New Hampshire race, but this same car here finished 6th in the 2nd New Hampshire race in September.
Got his hands full coming off the corner, though.
Good racing here. See Jamie's utilizing that higher lane to get a run off the corner, but looks like now he's going to let Kurt Busch have that spot.
29.11.
Probably was just having to use up a little more of his car than what he wanted to at that particular time.
66 laps to go. The race back in April was won on fuel mileage. The race last week was won on fuel mileage. I wonder whose calculators are doing what on pit road. Let's try it again here. It'll be 16 to go at the green flag. There's Kurt Busch chomping at the rear deck of Jimmie Johnson's Chevy.
Boy, Jimmie Johnson got it hooked up on the restart right there. He was able to really accelerate.
See if Earnhardt Jr. can pull up like he did the last time and try to make a move on the 99 for 4th spot. They go up around the lap car of Dave Blaney. He will block that inside lane that Earnhardt Jr. wanted to use.
And that's probably Jimmie Johnson's best restart yet. You can see him put about 3 or 4 car lengths on the 2 car. Carl Edwards is now trying to clear Dave Blaney. He had himself a little breathing room from Dale Jr.
Jimmie Johnson just pulling away now from Kurt Busch. Half a second there in 3 laps.
Jimmie's just been so good in this chase. hardly making any mistakes and just executes everything so well, from restarts to pit stops. This team is just outstanding.
So Johnson, Kurt Busch, McMurray, Edwards is
Still have a single file restart here.
spot. Denny Hamlin is
Probably
sixth.
going to be
Harvick is seventh.
3 white
Kyle
checks.
Busch in eighth. And Jeff Burton is ninth. There is the 11 and 88 battling for position. That's for fifth spot.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin trying to make a charge here late in the race. This is where he's really had difficulty today when he gets up here battling for these spots, trying to make these passes on the inside. He just doesn't seem to he's had enough grip to make.
Be one to go when you get here, Jimmy.
Be able to clear Junior, who slips a little bit off a turn.
Keep weaving that thing around, get that pickup filled up, and then
moves into that fifth spot.
they're going down the back straightaway. Make sure you tack that thing up.
Kevin Harvick in there behind him. He is the next car on the lead lap behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. Here's Harvick. He's got some traffic in front of him to try to get by the lap cars of Dave Blaney and Michael Waltrip.
Comes Greg Biffle on fresh tires inside of Casey Kane.
So that would be for the 11th position.
Trying to make the most of those 4 new tires.
Yeah. Biffle's had an uphill climb all day long after having to start in the rear with a change of a transmission this morning. See Clint Boyer, who's gotten back on the lead lap. He's in the 13th spot.
Remember, he and Martin both came on and got fresh tires after getting back on the lead lap. The last 2 cautions. See if they can make it up. They're going to move in on Casey Kane as well.
Give him a tug, buddy. 3 laps to go here.
Car walking up across the racetrack.
It looked like he got in that corner a little bit hot. Locking the brakes up a little. He's got it back down to the bottom in clear traffic now. Or clear racetrack.
Going, not going. Hold it off.
Johnson, who has dominated today at Phoenix
One to go
International
this time.
Raceway. Johnson has led 3 times for 207 laps. And at this point in time, unless they change positions, the point lead will be 141 points going to the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yeah, he'll actually get 5 bonus points then too, which hasn't been added yet for leading the most laps. Oh, I'm sorry, they've already been added in there, so that's 141, which still means he's got to, he has to finish the race next week. He has to show up and he has to finish. He can't be, he can't finish dead last, and so that'll
make sure those brake bands are on. Drag your brakes a little bit.
He's going to have to go down there and make a statement too.
4th position on the racetrack, Andy. They've caught the 9 car of Casey Kane.
These guys, he's got fresh tires now. It's making a difference.
Okay, coming to the green.
See Mark Martin there, who got the free pass.
Kevin Harvick steering hard on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take the position away. That's 6th spot from Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh, got Stewart around Kenza.
Allmendinger gets by. There's the 7th car. Bobby Gordon involved.
Cars down. Got it.
Final lap. Remember,
right,
still
ready?
18 cars on the lead lap, so
Green
contact
flag.
could totally change the complexion.
Looking inside. You're clear, clear, clear.
Busch got a good jump. Carl Edwards got a good jump.
Jimmie Johnson laid the power down.
Clear by 1, coming to the white.
Kurt Busch did all he could do right there.
Yeah.
He was right on him.
Jimmie Johnson will come out of 4 for the white flag here at Phoenix. 1 lap to go.
Clear by 1.
Whoa, look at Kurt Busch.
Think he's not driving hard?
He's still digging. He got that thing completely sideways.
Jimmie Johnson sideways there too.
Carling's back.
Got a nice run off the corner.
Okay, we're coming
See if he can get to the bumper.
Can he get there? Here he comes. Kurt
Coming
Busch.
to the checkered. Carling's back.
Jimmie
Awesome
Johnson
job,
trying
dude.
to hang on.
Way to do it. Awesome job, dude.
And Jimmie Johnson wins for the 7th time this year. World contact.
Awesome, awesome job. Awesome job.
A lot of cars getting torn up here.
6, 7, 8 cars involved.
Stewart's involved.
spectacular performance.
Kenny Schrader involved. The two initially involved were the 42 and 10 that were sort of shoved aside, but Jimmie Johnson,
Jimmy, got a copy, buddy.
Waving and saying, guys, we got one to go.
See Allmendinger battling off the corner here. I think that was 17 kind of moved down, saying he wasn't too happy about the last caution that AJ created and getting into the back of him.
Let's go down and visit with Chad Knaus, the winning crew chief. Mike.
And he's pretty happy, Chad Knaus, but had to be some agonizing moments there. You had the dominant car, but there were a rash of cautions at the end. What was that like for you?
It's always tough. You know, Kurt Busch is a heck of a race car driver. They did a good job. They had a great race car all day long, so I was nervous with those guys behind us, but, Jimmie stepped up just a tremendous amount. This team did a really good job. We came here with something a little bit different than what we'd run in the past, and it worked great for qualifying, obviously, but we tried to adapt that into the race, and it just wasn't working for us. So we went to work last night. Jimmie really brought a lot to the table and kind of pointed some things out to me. We put a different setup in the car, and damn, it was fast all day.
You said last week you like to win. Winning relieves pressure. How much of the edge does this take away now as you go to Homestead with a very sizable margin?
I don't know. Carl finished 4th, man. He's still right there on us, so it's
over 100 points.
Well, that's good. I like that, obviously. But, those guys race very hard, and they're going to be very tough at the mile-and-a-half track and, at Homestead. But, man, I just like winning. I just like winning races, and that's what we do here, and we do it for Rick and for everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, and that's just awesome.
And they do it oh so well, Shannon.
Down here with the 4th place finishing Carl Edwards. Coming into this weekend, Carl, you said 130 points, 140 points going into Homestead. You still had a chance. 141. What are your thoughts now?
Well, first of all, I got to thank Ford and Office Depot and Halflack and everybody. And we had a great run. Jimmie's he's doing it. He did a great job. And the thing we've got to do is just keep our heads up, go to Homestead. It's still possible. It's not probable, but I can guarantee you we're just going to go there, give it 100%, and and hope that something happens. We saw what happened with the 24 today. You never know. You never know what can happen.
Folks, we are in the presence of greatness, and here he comes out of the car. Let's go down to victory lane and Dave Burns.
I'm just going to let the boys be boys right now. Yeah, thanks. Okay, they got the last shot on me, too. 3 in a row here, Jimmie. Unbelievable run today. Last week, they took it to you. How does it feel to take it to them this week?
Oh, man, you never know with the sport. You can never count this team out. We didn't have the best day yesterday, and these guys worked hard on it last night and made some great decisions on this car, and this thing was awesome all day. So, in this sport, it challenges you, man. I can't tell you how tough the last week's been. It's just emotional, regardless of where you're at, if you got a big points lead or not. It's what I've worked my whole life for, and I know everybody else in this field has too. So, when that weight sits on your shoulders, it's a tough one. I'm proud of this team to rise up each time. I thank the good Lord for this talent and this great race team that I have. And I just can't thank everybody at Lowe's, Hendrick Motorsports, my crew, my guys. A lot of hard work goes into this, and it's nice to see it coming together.